There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Vampire the Requiem. Requiem for London. Tonight, we revisit the gangrel Victor Mantis, who has been put in contact with the London Seneschal. A name being Damaris Bennett. A maquette and a neonate. Victor?
Hello.
Well, what have you been doing this evening?
Spending most of my time at the hotel.
The hotel you've bought out?
Yes.
You got a room for yourself now?
I'm working on it slowly but surely. Getting everything prepared.
Oh yeah, don't forget to roll for hunting because you lose a blood as well. Because it's a new scene.
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
Okay. It's fairly early on to the night. Something worth noting is that the night comes very early to London. It's dark by about 4 to 4:30. We're heading to the closest, the shortest day of the year. Still about a month away though. So you're up at about 4:30. People still working when you wake up. Lots of people coming and going. But while you're out relaxing in your new hotel, you get a phone call.
This is Victor. What can I do for you?
That's your manager, your mortal manager of the hotel.
I see. Yes, sir.
So there are people looking for you downstairs, claiming to have been sent by a Miss Bennett.
Okay. I'll be right down. I will lock up and head down.
You head on down.
Indeed.
Okay. You head on down, and you see a man and a woman in long coats. Look fairly similar to the guards that were employed at Nightshade.
Indeed.
And very similar to the guards that were oh no, you weren't present for that Elysium. That's fine. They just look similar to the guards employed at Nightshade.
Okay. I'll wander over. I'm Victor Mantis. Can I help you?
Good evening, Mr. Mantis. We have been... Oh. Sorry about that. We have been sent by Lady Bennett to collect you for our meeting.
Indeed.
Actually, you won't say our meeting, you'll say your meeting.
Indeed. Not a problem. I will. Let's go. I'm ready.
Of course so. And they'll both lead you to a rather nice-looking limousine outside. It's just been parked outside.
I'll head out, and if they open the back door, I'll get in.
They'll open the door for you.
Yeah, I'll get in. I'm dressed in my nice clothes. So sit in and be relaxed. I'm nothing to be afraid of. That's what I'm telling myself in my brain.
When you enter the limousine, you see this rather youngish-looking woman. Sat about midway down the limousine. She's dressed in generic office wear.
I'll smile, showing my pearly whites. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mantis. She registers as kindred to your senses.
I hope you find the evening well.
I do, however busy it may be, and Seneschal, although I have no doubt you already know this.
I had suspicions, yes.
A car begins to drive off.
I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. I know your nights must be filled with busy.
We appreciate you going through the proper channels so few kindred do nowadays. You smell blood in the car. Would you like some refreshments?
I think I'm okay. But thank you for the offer.
I understand. She begins flipping through a clipboard that's been placed on her lap.
I won't bother her with small talk.
So, Mr. Mantis, you hail from the Americas, yes?
Yes. Phoenix, Arizona, to be exact.
I see. Why leave Phoenix? It is quite a prosperous domain.
We never came up with, out of character, we never came up with my Deva mentor, but she lives here. So I will mention her name and say that I was invited here. It's not bad. I wanted to see something of the world. I've never really traveled. I've heard great things of London, and since being here, it's lived up to its name.
Ah. Melandra, curious. I see. What did you get up to while you were in Phoenix?
Honestly, most of my time was spent learning the ways of the Covenant, the things not to do, the traditions. But other than that, mostly just basking in being a youthful one of our kind.
I see. And what of your sire? Will they be joining us? Or have you parted ways?
We are on good terms, but my sire is still staying in. As far as I know, my sire is still staying in Arizona. She travels around often.
I see. I suppose that is not entirely unexpected. But you wish to settle here, or are you?
I do.
Ah,
The architecture, the history, and then with the troubles of other covenants have tried causing in the area, I figured having another hand would never be a bad thing.
one moment. Okay. Have you lied to her at any point during
No,
this
goodness,
conversation?
no. Goodness, no.
Excellent.
No, I would like to survive this meeting.
It's the only question I wish to ask. And you and your line, do you descend from Invictus stock, or are you branching out?
Invictus stock.
Good. There's never enough.
The old ways worked for a reason, so got to keep it. Got to keep the traditions alive that kept us successful.
I see. And what are your plans here outside of your hotel chain?
Well, I was going to do my hotel, have a club there. I'm hoping to meet members of our covenant and start working my way to be the best Invictus I can, honestly, and best city member. I'm going to try to my best to, well, let's speak frankly. I'm going to try to make myself good in the eyes of the people that are. I'll gesture towards her, the people that are in charge, because I want our city to thrive. I want our city to prosper, because the better our city does, the better we do.
Yes. Contrary to what many believe, Invictus has always been dedicated towards creating such a positive feedback loop for the benefit of everybody within a domain. But I believe you've already met some of your Covenant mates. Can you tell me what you think of them so far?
Who have I met as of now that is our covenant? Just Natalia, I believe. That I know for sure is Invictus. Natalia is. Oh, she's wonderful. Honestly, she is very dutiful. She wants very badly to do well by. I don't know who she works for directly. Um, I don't press anybody I talk to about things because I personally think, unless you have the power, and I'll gesture again to her, to press people, that it's not my place. I know she works for someone powerful, perhaps her sire's powerful, and that's fine. But she dutifully works for him, trying to do, or him or her, should say, trying to do the best for the covenant and for the people that she works with and for. Um, She seems to get along with everybody she's met thus far. Um, I don't believe the doctor is Invictus. She's a member of that the circus people. And I know the leader of the circus, the ringmaster, is Lankia Sanctum, I believe. And then I met some gangrel named Julian, and I don't believe he was Invictus either. And then I saw at a bar, I saw one of the notaries, but I didn't speak to her. She was busy speaking with someone else, and then I met the owner of the Nightshade, and I believe she lies independent of Covenant. And I've met you, and so far you seem very dutiful in your charges.
My only role is to see to the duties that the prince does not have time for.
Understood.
He must look upon a bigger picture. I am surprised you have so little to say on a notary.
What do you mean?
They are figures of significance within our covenant.
Oh no, I understand. Yeah, I didn't get to speak with her. She was very beautiful. The woman she was with was very beautiful, but they were busy at in the Elysium. Well, at a gathering where the Elysium was held. So I didn't really think it was appropriate to go interrupt their conversation. I did meet the Harpy as well.
What did you think of the harpy?
She did her job very well. It seemed as though the younger people that I've been with, most of the people I've been with are younger, like I myself am, didn't really understand the concept of why the harpy exists and or understand that that means there's a certain amount of protocol that goes along with speaking with the harpy. But I'm sure that they learned, and anytime she admonished, well, at least one of them, uh, uh, they listened, apologized, and corrected the behavior that they were admonished about.
Hmm. Good. I hope things went well for her that evening. She's a very treasured part of our court.
The harpy?
Hmm.
She was a very nice young lady. Well, I say young lady, knowing that she could be goodness. That is a hard habit to get out of.
Hmm. And you are privy to nothing else within the ongoings of the domain?
I was going to go with the ringmaster into the sewers, but he ended up going on a night that I was not available to stop with the revenant problem. And I have just heard on the news and through the rumor mill that someone killed a security guard and possibly caught breaching the masquerade on camera.
They should all be resolved sooner rather than later, I think.
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with how the Invictus operates, being of us.
Efficiently.
But we are far stricter with such breaches than the domains in the States are.
Do you know if the sheriff has any suspects? What for those kind of things that we hear through the rumor mill? Is that something that the city would like us to investigate, or do you prefer just Does the city prefer to have the city's people investigate those sort of things?
If assistance is requested, the appropriate individuals will hear about it.
Understood.
She sits there in silence for a few moments, just writing on her clipboard. She has a fairly authoritative expression. It's kind of stern, just very emotionally blank.
Understood. I'm trying not to be antsy because Victor is actually nervous. So,
Speaking of which, she would just say, "You seem nervous, Mr. Mantis."
oh yes, very much. I'm young in a new city, meeting one of the higher ups. Um, yeah, I'm nervous about that. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I don't want to insult you. So my mind's running a little faster than normal.
Well, aren't you just the right amount of honest?
I've been told it's a fault of mine.
A man appears on the chair just opposite you.
I will jump. I will visibly go. I know it exists. I've seen it before. It doesn't make it less startling.
Oh, I know you hate it, Seneschal, but I must say I genuinely do enjoy these sorts of conversations. The Seneschal sighs and just sort of gestures towards the man and says, "Your prince."
It's an honor to meet you, sir. Your Highness, I don't know. What is your do they your Majesty people? I will do whatever the proper your
Majesty
Grace.
is actually, yeah. Your Majesty is actually not inappropriate given that he is literally the king of the domain.
I'd say whatever is appropriate.
My prince is honestly the most appropriate my
Okay.
prince.
It's an honor to meet you, my prince.
Likewise, you're very talented at dancing around sensitive topics.
That was one of the first. I don't want to say it was beaten into me, but it was one of the first things I learned. Is there's certain things we talk about and certain things we don't.
Ah, yes. A rule that is perhaps more tightly enforced here than any other city in the world. A time and a place for everything, and in politics, timing is everything.
Understood.
What's wrong? Don't fall silent on me. I was rather enjoying the conversation you and the Seneschal were having.
Oh
It was
no.
very enlightening.
She just asked while I was nervous was last. So he's like literally talking out loud while thinking about where the conversation, where they were in the conversation. He's like, oh, but yeah, that's mainly it now. Probably if I had a heartbeat, I'm pretty sure it would be racing currently. So, um, but that's really all that I get nervous about. I just want to do right. I want to come to the city. I want to do the best I can. I'd like to make as few mistakes as possible and help. And I'll gesture at both of them. The people that have been here for a long time, keeping an eye on the place. I'd like to keep it standing in your eyes. The city is a piece of art. It can be either beautiful or ugly, and London is beautiful, and I want it to stay that way.
I would very much like to think of my domain as such. But yes, do be careful. If you're a bit too earnest, some of us may exploit that. We are, after all, pragmatists at heart.
Understood.
Oh, one moment. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yes, yes. Well, welcome to London. I was very impressed of how you handled yourself. Again, just the right amount of honest, but no outright untruths.
I appreciate the compliment.
You didn't even mention the poisoning of the harpy. I must say, we did try and press you on it.
Mm. That was an interesting development, but I felt beyond my pay grade of my business, it being my business.
It really was. It's also entirely untrue. No one's
Oh,
actually poisoned the harpy. After all, why would you do that? I gave it a job.
indeed.
Very interesting scandal in the making, though.
I'm sure.
Might give us some time to simmer. Harpies need something to chew on after all.
It is what they like to do most, from what I've been told.
Yes, sometimes I wonder if things had been different and if I would have ended up a harpy. I mean, indisputably I would have ended up a harpy, but it's fun to consider.
Understand. Is there anything in the city that I can be doing for you two that I'm not already doing?
Ah, well. That is a separate conversation, good sir, as after all, you are without a house. Your loyalties to the Invictus, but which aspect? That
Understood.
is the question. And I'm sure in time, when you find your feet, you'll come looking for the house that suits you best. Or maybe they'll go looking for you.
Indeed.
I would like to think that a successful Invictus would have employees lining up and to bring them into the fold.
Indeed.
He just lets the silence sit, and he seems to sort of relish it. He seems to kind of give this sort of very entertained smile.
I'm doing my best to try to not fidget right now. The human mannerisms that I have from being so young.
Oh, then, my dear boy, I won't keep you too much longer. You look like you need a bathroom break, so I think we will call our meeting here. But yes, welcome to London.
Thank you very much, my prince.
Remember to enjoy yourself, but also keep yourself within arm's reach at all times. After all, opportunity and death alike seem to reside around every corner in London.
So I've been told.
The perks of having every covenant in a city never gets old.
Indeed. I can only imagine.
The car seems to slow down. It turns around and seems to turn back into your car park. You've more or less been going around. Turns into the car park of your hotel. You've literally just been going around the block for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's been taking a short journey around the city. And when the limousine arrives, the two guards who are present at your hotel, they open the door. The prince will just say, "Have a pleasant evening, good boy. I look forward to seeing your accomplishments within my good domain." He smiles a very expectant smile.
I'll flash my big Victor grin back at him, and when it's appropriate to leave to exit, I will do so.
A man after my own charm. Good evening.
Good evening. And I'll nod to the good evening, Seneschal, as well. Well, that was heart-wrenching.
She just nods. And I think with that,
Thank you for...
end the scene now.
Yeah.
Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.